when he sent the Judean army into Sodom and dashed them against rocks? How is your God merciful if he orders babies to be killed and women to be enslaved? Can you answer me? How is God merciful if he orders babies to be killed and women to be enslaved? Can you answer me? Can you ask him?
Have a good day.
Stop spreading hate.
Would you like to sit down and talk?
Yes, absolutely. Can you believe that?
I've been seeing this quite recently.
What's your name? My name's Tyler.
Isaac.
Damn fine to meet you. Damn.
Yeah, I've seen you like around like some of the Turning Point people.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've seen you quite.
That's right. Turn around. Sorry. Go on.
So you current undergrad student?
Excuse me?
Okay.
I am a little shook.
Professor.
Yeah, good to see you. Just making sure you're okay. All good?
No, I'm a little shook. I just got abused by the cops. I'm a little shook. But I'm going to be reporting him, so it'll hopefully go well. Hell yeah.
Okay. Just making sure you're all okay.
Yeah. So what up, Isaac? You saw me protesting my TPUSA shit?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, just like I've seen you around in general, so it's kind of interesting. I never really put a name to the face, but your name's
Damn fine to meet you.
What's your name?
Tyler.
Tyler. Okay.
Thank you for starting a conversation.
Yeah, it's like I find this all interesting, like to see, you know.
That's what
both
college
sides,
is
you know?
for.
Exactly.
To me, that's what college is for.
Exactly.
And we should be relishing and be happy that this exchange of ideas is occurring, in my opinion.
That's true.
And where else but college should we go to for that?
That's facts.
Anyway, I can't believe how these people will, in the same breath, say that God is merciful, yet acknowledge that he ordered that babies be killed by throwing them into rocks, and ordered the enslavement of women and animals, and for men to be put to death, as he mentioned several times. How do you feel about that? That this guy tries to say that there's a merciful God, yet it orders the slaying of babies and the enslavement of women. Hello. Do you want to join our conversation?
No, I just wanted to say good stuff.
Thanks, bro. I really appreciate that. I don't get a lot of props, so thank you. Thank you so much.
Not much.
How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I don't really have an opinion because my knowledge on the Bible is actually it's not up there.
That's wonderful of you to say. I love when people say, I don't know. It's a perfectly acceptable answer. And
A lot of people, you know, they kind of just go with the narrative that they see, the popular narrative.
exactly.
And I try not to do that. I try to be fair,
It's wonderful.
you know. That's why I would like to, you know, that's why I wanted to conversate with you a bit,
Thank
you know
you.
what I mean? I already kind of see what angle they're coming from, and even if it is right, I don't think the way that they go about it is necessarily appropriate. And
I agree.
yeah. But one thing I will say is like in front of the kids, man.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, not
I
in front of
appreciate the
kids.
criticism.
I mean, I don't mean to kind of come on you like hard or anything, but just like in front of the kids.
Thank you for the criticism. Let me tell you though, aren't you bothered that they spread hate in front of children? For instance, like I just asked him, you know, they ordered the slaying of babies. They ordered the enslavement of women. Why aren't you just as appalled? Or maybe you are. I don't presume to know you. Why aren't you just as appalled that they're spreading hate in front of children, and yet be as appalled when I curse in front of children? Which do you think is worse? Telling children around them that gay people are unequal and they deserve to be put to death, or cursing around them? Which do you think is worse in your opinion?
Well, I would like to preface it by this. I will say one is not better than the other, but at the same time, I don't think they really retain much of what their fathers might be saying. But when a kid hears F you and then they see the action of the middle finger, they retain that. I don't know how kids work, you know.
Then why is
100%.
Christianity the largest religion in America if they don't follow essentially what their parents taught them?
Well, I would say
Because I disagree. I think the parent is the most influential model of for a child up until they're about, according to psychology, up until they're about 8, and then they start swapping their peers as their models for inspiration. I'm a child. I've studied. I'm an early childhood educator, and
Right.
this is sort of my specialty.
Right.
So I implore you. You say this is more transferable to their permanency than their own fathers and what their own fathers say, I must disagree with you, and I must implore you to look at the science, and I think the science would disagree with you as well.
But it's just that I would say that because, like you were saying, if they at a certain age they begin to swap in their peers as maybe what's the word?
As role models.
Yeah, as role models. You know, maybe even things to look at morally. You know.
Right. It certainly happens.
I
The
would
vast
think-
majority of children,
I
this
would
is
think-
certainly what happens.
Right. So with that being said,
Around the age of 8, sorry.
yeah. So I would say that that's why I would say that the cursing is going to stick with them more, because I feel they're more likely to hear somebody talking about curse words in whatever grade they're in than more so someone talking about biblical.
May I ask what's
things.
wrong with cursing if you are not actually spreading hate?
What?
Say, for instance, what's wrong with cursing? What's wrong with using the F word, the S word, whatever,
Mhm.
as long as you're not spreading hate? Like, for instance, to me, it is far more appalling to say without curse words, gays should be put to death because they're abominations, than to say, I fucking love you, bro. Which is more hateful to you, in your opinion? Just because I fucking love you has fucking it, or the actual message that gays should be put to death because they're abominations?
Sorry, ask that question again.
So, which is more appalling to you?
Mhm.
Someone that says without curse words, gay people should be put to death because they're abominations, or the statement, I fucking love you, bro? Which is more appalling to you? And that's the heart of my point. Just because someone uses curse words doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I argue it's the ideas that you're trying to get across that should be analyzed, not how you're getting them across, personally.